Okay, thank you for clicking on this video. This message is meant to reach Stu, Michael, D'Arcangelo, Jim and David Poole, as well as the Social X and NuCalm leadership and development teams. So dear gentlemen and perhaps ladies, I'd like to share some constructive feedback regarding the registration and subscription process. We're currently encountering recurring issue during onboarding. When new users register for Social X and proceed to purchase their NuCalm subscription, they're sometimes presented with warning messages, pop-up messages such as this username is already taken or this email address is already in use. Now these notifications appear during the payment and registration process, so it's part of the payment portal as far as I can see, and often create unnecessary uncertainty for new members. As a result, many registrations stall. So instead of completing their subscription, users contact the help desk or us, or reach out to our teams for assistance, and then it sometimes takes days to bring him back into the flow. So in some cases, it takes a lot of communication and so on and so forth. So trust is broken due to these funny little pop-up screens. And in some cases, again, it takes even days or weeks to resolve the registration and payment issues creating unnecessary friction and reducing conversion rates. Now it takes people out of the flow, literally, that took us tons of time and money to bring them into. And as we begin now rolling out large-scale recruitment campaigns, this becomes a critical concern, even though it looks very small. So we have invested at this moment heavily time as well as money in AI-driven recruitment, onboarding and follow-up systems that will literally blow your mind and knock your socks off for the next 50 generations. You'll be pleased with it. And we have access, I certainly have access, to extensive networks of leaders, organizations, media partners and very large bases of contacts. Now this gives us the ability to introduce Social X as well as NuCalm to tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and eventually also, and quite immediately also, to millions of new members to this and your beautiful platform. However, we cannot succeed or successfully succeed and successfully scale if the payment and registration experience creates unnecessary obstacles. My impression, and my humble impression, is that there may be an additional security or validation mechanism within the subscription payment portal that is generating these over-the-top warnings. While this may have been implemented for legitimate technical reasons, I do believe that it deserves immediate review and optimization. Please accept this as well-meant, positive and constructive feedback. My goal is simply to help ensure that Social X and NuCalm are fully prepared for significant growth. Over the past 15, 20, even 30 years, I've had the privilege of helping billionaires, founders, CEOs, entrepreneurs, investors and other influential business leaders build and scale technical platforms. Through that experience, I have developed relationships with organizations and founders and owners that have solved many of these challenges. So if it would be helpful, it is possible, and I would be happy to also introduce you to the founders and owners and executive teams and development teams of two companies with exceptional hybrid payment infrastructures. One of these organizations has even offered me or us to help develop a solution, a custom-made bespoke solution, hybrid solution for us at no cost, because they are interested in exposing and exploring a strategic partnership. And the second one is even more interesting, I must admit. They're further down the road. They're even way more, how do you say it? Well, they're actually richer. So the second organization that I'm talking about is even larger and richer, and has recently onboarded more than 200,000 new users, which is normal for them. They're going towards millions and millions and millions of users within just a few months, and they're open to expose their members to new products. So NuCalm will be a huge benefit to them and a wild success with and for them as well. And their custom built hybrid payment portal, their ecosystem is amongst the most advanced I've ever seen. It integrates traditional banking, cryptocurrency wallets, as well as debit cards and API driven payment processes into one seamless platform, while also earning of that big time. So if you're open to explore these possibilities, I would be pleased, or we would be pleased to facilitate introduction to the founders, CEOs, and decision makers behind these organizations, these two organizations. I do believe that such a collaboration could significantly strengthen the scalability, reliability, smooth onboarding and on-ramping and user experiences of the SocialX and NuCalm payment ecosystem. So thank you so much for taking the time to consider this feedback. I appreciate all the work that is being done. I'm flabbergasted and speechless about the NuCalm app. Fantastic, thank you so much, and I hope this contributes positively to the continued success of the platform of SocialX and NuCalm. I look forward to hearing from you. Kind regards, Rob BUSER.